I showed up at your party, would you love me? Would you trust me? Would you kiss me on the front porch? And would it help everything and make you forget that I cheated?
Damn.
Just more honest lyrics, you know? Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Apartment 6 podcast. I'm Jess.
And I'm Marissa.
Do I always say podcast? Every time we record, I feel like I'm like, welcome back to the Apartment 6 podcast. And I'm like, I get so annoyed listening to that back. Like, I like really emphasize pod.
Like nasally?
No. Just like podcast.
Like long O.
Like poodcast. Like the way I'm saying it,
Poodcast.
it's like phonetically it would be poodcast.
Like the U with the 2 dots over it. Like
Is that what gives you? Oh yeah. Oh my wait. Oh yeah. Uber does have.
Yeah, but you don't say poodcast.
Poodcast. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, hi everyone. I was gonna say what this episode's about. Well, basically this episode's about beauty, but before we get there, let's jump into our roses and thorns. Marissa, what is your thorn?
What is my thorn? Oh, my thorn is just generally, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but just generally dating in quarantine. I've had a few situations that like didn't even amount to much at all, but it's just so hard right now. Like, it's already so hard to find people you're interested in like normal life, like interested enough in to meet up when things are normal. But it's like now you have to be interested enough in someone to like jump through all these hoops of COVID guidelines and whatever. So it's like it's already so difficult, but now it's even more difficult.
Yeah, that's fair. It takes some of the like spontaneity and like exciting feelings of just like, yeah, like sure, like yeah, let's meet up tonight, or like yeah, let's like maybe we will kiss on our first date, or maybe we will, you know, I don't know. Yeah, at least like hug or be a little touchy and playful. Like it takes sort of those elements that like the natural like nerves and spontaneity of dating out of dating.
Yeah, it's also like calculated.
Yeah.
And it's also such like you have to weigh like the risks and benefits and stuff. Like before it was like if a first date didn't go well, the worst thing that happened was just like you were disappointed. But now it's like if you risk it to meet someone in person and then you end up not liking them, it's like, well, why did I even do that? Why did I like step outside of my circle to meet this person I didn't even like?
Yeah, I feel like that's where like FaceTime dates are like a nice thing, is that you're really not like going out of your way or risking anything, and then like you're already home from it.
Yeah.
Once and like you could if it doesn't go well, you can always just click out of it and be like, oh, sorry, bad internet connection.
Would you really do that? Would you do that? Like if you were in a bad FaceTime date, you really weren't enjoying yourself, you would just like click off?
Okay, me probably not. Yeah. I think I would probably make an excuse. But you could if you're like really not clicking with someone to the point where you're like, I don't even like you as a person. Like, yeah. I don't like, I feel like they kind of, not that they deserve that, but like you're doing them both a favor. Just click out and explain later, you know? That's what's sort of funny is like you could even, I would never ghost someone. That's like not my, like I hate when people leave me like hanging, like not even just like ghosting, but when they just like are like, by the way, I don't feel the same anymore, and then like just never, like they don't even make it a conversation. They just like dump that like thought on you and then leave. Yeah. So I'm like, I would never do that to someone, but I feel like technically you can just click out and then never say anything again because you've never like met them and like you're not going to run into them.
It's so funny because I feel like a lot of people do make the point of like, you're home already, like you don't have to worry about like you know, finding an excuse to go home. But I don't think anybody has gone as far as to say, like, you could just hang up. But it's true.
It's true. And also, like, there are still, like, excuses. Like, you could be like, oh, like, my roommate's asking me to, like, help her with something. Or, like, oh, like, bad internet connection. Or, oh, my mom's calling me and it's important. Or, like listen, if you really aren't into someone, there's always a way.
Yep. You're right.
But yeah, that's a fair thorn.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with that. What is your thorn?
My thorn is that Penny just left. So my rose last week was that I was going to be dog sitting my family dog, Penny, for the week. And so I said, I was like, maybe it'll end up being my rose next week that I did it. But I'm like, in the last week, my thing was that I had Penny, but instead of making it my rose, I'll make it my thorn because she just left like an hour ago. I'm sad. I'm going to miss her little self, but she was a lot of work. So it's also kind of like sort of a relief to be back to like some normalcy and to not have like this little creature depending on me. Cause I take it so personally. Like I really am like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure she's comfortable at all times. And because there's such like a huge responsibility when like there's this little 10-pound creature and she can't speak. And so you just feel like you have to really like be in tune with her and make sure she's getting everything she needs. Like I just feel such a great responsibility about it that it is like a full-time job mentally for me. And I love doing it and I'm happy to do it. But clearly, because now I'm sad that she's gone. But it is sort of like a bittersweet thing. I'm glad she's going to go back to my mom because she loves being with my mom. But
yeah,
a week was like a good amount of time. Yeah. What's your rose?
My rose is inspired by Taylor Swift's album coming out, but it's not specifically that. It's just like...
That's low-key mine.
Well, it's like it made me think a lot about like what music can do for people. Like it was just so like magical to see everybody just like collectively get excited for this, like because we all were like experiencing it together, because like no one knew she was gonna come out with this album. She like surprised everybody, so that it was really cool to just like witness the reaction of everybody being like, whoa, new music, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And it just felt like so like uniting. And I don't know, it's just like I almost feel weirdly the same way that I did when quarantine started, and it felt like everybody was like on a united front. It was just cool to like feel like a part of something. Like I feel like this album was like, I don't know, we just all connected. I mean, of course there are naysayers and stuff, and like I always used to be, when I was younger, like a real like music bigot. Like I would like have certain artists that I'd be like, I don't listen to them, or I would like have like debates with these guys in my class about like rap music versus rock music, and I'd be like, rap isn't real music, rock is the only real music out there. But
I used to think that.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I actually thought it, but I just wanted to, that was like my persona. Like I wanted to be known as the person who like championed real music and whatever.
And rock was what you championed?
Yeah, but I feel like it was more, I feel like the name, the shorthand of it was like rap versus rock, but like the real debate was like real instruments and guitars and drums versus like beats, basically. So wow. I remember being such a like little shit about it, and now I've just like come around, I think. Because I do, even though I listened to Taylor Swift, I've listened to every album she's come up with. Like I owned a lot of her albums when I was younger. I saw her when I was younger. But I do think part of me like wouldn't be as apt to talk about her in public before. But now I'm just like, cool music is cool music, and it's really awesome that we can all share it and talk about it. So that is my rose.
Yeah, my rose is also her album. Oh, I just did a big yawn. Sorry. My rose is also her album because there are certain albums, and we talked about this on our last Together episode. Welcome back, by the way. There are certain albums, and I said that Maggie Rogers was this for me a couple years ago, that just like get me so into music. Like it makes me want to write. It makes me like want to like fiddle around on a guitar again. It makes me want to write music and poetry, and this is that album for me. I'm so like I feel so excited about it still. Every walk I took Penny on this week, well, not every walk this week because it wasn't out the whole week, but like every walk I've been on with her since the album came out, I was listening to just that. Oh no. Sorry, I'm yawning again. We're not recording at night. I have no excuse. But yeah, I love this album, and I totally get people who aren't into her, but I would challenge you, if you're not into her, to think about why you're not, and if the reason you're not is because of things that you've told yourself about her. Because a lot of times I feel like people who dislike her are like, well, she does this, or she acts this way, or she, did this one thing and, this time. And I'm like, okay, like that's fair. I understand that like goes into how you view an artist, but I think that she's one of those people where a lot of people's hangups with her are like perception things and not necessarily based in like fact. Is she the most talented singer? No, I don't, but I don't think anyone has ever said that. I think that like what people really praise her for is her poetry, her lyric writing, and her production. She's really good at production. If you watch like the making of her songs, she knows, I want to add this little sound here, and I'm going to do it by doing this, and I want this to like ramp up here. And so like watching her process, like she is a true artist. And so I just would challenge anyone to listen without the biases that we have around her, which is not to dismiss anything that she's done wrong, but just to say that I think that a lot of times we just get hung up on not liking someone for the sake of not liking them because it doesn't feel cool to like them. But I love this album, and I think it's pretty brilliant. So today's episode is about beauty, because one of the things that Marissa and I have really bonded over, and we talked about this in our episode all about our hobbies, is beauty. We are both like avid watchers of beauty YouTube, and we're both people that love to play with makeup and love to test out skincare and love to talk about it all the time, and like do like hauls of like if we buy like a single thing that there's like related to beauty, we're like, guess what I got. It's just a thing. We're just really passionate about it. So we wanted to not only talk about beauty today and our feelings on it, but the way that we're going to do that is by doing a little challenge that we've been seeing on YouTube. The whole challenge is that you have $1,000 to spend at Sephora. What are you going to buy it on? So it's like your dream wish list of like things that maybe you've always wanted to buy from Sephora. It's really expensive, but like say someone gave you $1,000 gift card, like what would you buy? So we each made a list. We each like went in and put things in our cart until it totaled $1,000, and we're going to talk about them just like people are doing on YouTube right now. And then we're also going to talk about sort of like how our beauty preferences have changed over time, and like what beauty and makeup and skincare and that whole hobby like means to us. Would you like to start, madam?
Well, okay, should I just go in the order of how I put things in the cart, or should we divide into like categories, or like how do you want to?
You can go in the order of the cart. Do you want to just go back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
first thing in the cart.
My first thing is 2 of the Kristoff Robin Purifying Scalp Scrub with sea salt.
Ooh.
And 2 of them is $106, which makes each one $53, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, like, expensive product. I have gone through, I think, 1 tub of this product.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used it when I was home, when I was living at home after school, and I really loved it. I think in general, I just really love a scalp scrub because I do get a lot of, not product buildup because I don't really use a lot of product, but like debris is not the right word. Like scalp, bless you, if you could hear that.
Thanks. I turned off my microphone so that they wouldn't hear it, but thanks.
Yeah, I have like, even though I have like oily hair, I get like a dry, flaky scalp, and I just have a lot of like oil and just like build up in my hair. Appetizing.
Yeah, this is so nice.
But yeah, I feel like that like physical, I also am like, I'm not very like strong. So like I feel like having a scrub like that helps to really get in there in a way that my hands really can't do. So yeah, that's why I like that. And I put 2 in there because I was like, if I have a dispensable amount of money, then
you're going to get your favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually didn't do any duplicates of anything. I think in real, like, I think if I truly was given $1,000, I would do duplicates. But for this, I wanted to see like what I would get like without duplicating anything, like how far my reach would go. Mm-hmm. So my first thing, I guess that it's not in the order that I put things in my cart for whatever reason, but the first thing on the list is the Sephora Collection Ready to Roll brush set. Because honestly, like I have bought brushes like, is like piecemeal the right term? Like I just have bought like 1 at a time or 2 at a time or like whatever. Yeah. And so my brushes like span, like I think there's one brush that I love that I've had since like high school, just because I like love it. Which, you guys, I wash my brushes, relax. But like
everybody calm down.
I think I've had that one since high school or college, and I've like thought about getting rid of it because it's old, but then I'm like, well, I wash it and it performs fine and I still like it and I still use it. But I have like a couple Eco Tools brushes. I have like some e.l.f. ones. I have some Real Techniques ones. I have a couple Morphe ones. Don't buy Morphe brushes. They fall apart. So I feel like, you know, Jessica Braun, one of our favorite YouTubers, has raved about the Sephora Collection brushes. And this set has like a really good, it's $70, which for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 brushes. Wow. That's like $7 a brush. Yeah. And it's like, it spans from like face brushes to eye brushes. So they've got like a dense like foundation brush. There's like a nice like fluffy looking one that's sort of flat, like you could like really get into like the contours of your cheeks. There's an angled brush, which I feel like I would use for blush. There's like a really like nice like tapered but like fluffy brush that you could use for like highlight or just like under your eyes. Then there's like a fan brush we could use for highlight, and then there's like just different eye brushes. There's like an angled eye brush and a crease brush and things like that. So I just feel like that's something I could see myself eventually maybe getting, just for the, if I ever want to do like a brush like refresh.
Yeah. Do you think that if you were to actually get that set, you would be willing to part with everything you have now, or would there still be brushes that you were like, oh, even though I have everything I need, I would still keep this because I love it?
I think there's only like one brush I would keep, and it's so silly because it's literally just an e.l.f. blending brush. It is the best blending brush, and it's travel size. I love, like, I have this little set from e.l.f. that's like travel size brushes. It's like this, I actually don't know if it's a set or if I bought them individually now that I think about it. I've got like a little stippling brush from them, and I've got like really thick fan brush that you sort of could use for like contour. So I'll bring that and I'll just like use it like for putting bronzer on my face. I'll use it, the other end of it, for like my blush. And they have this crease brush that is like the fluffiest, nicest thing, and I love it. So I feel like I would keep the crease brush, but yeah, everything else I might part with. The thing is, like, I've thought about getting rid of brushes, and then I've like, when I wash them, I'll be like, is there anything that I'm not really using? And some of it is, but it's like their eye brushes. So I just like sort of keep them because they're super small. But everything else I end up being like, no, because like if this one's dirty, I'll use that one. Or like,
Yeah.
oh, I like this one. And sometimes I feel like putting my blush on with that instead. Like I get funny about it. I don't know. But I think, yeah, I would get rid of everything except like my singular e.l.f. blending brush that I like have never found a better version of. Yeah. Someday, maybe.
Next up, I have another scalp scrub product, which is
what the frick?
the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Coconut Oil Micro Exfoliating Scalp Scrub Shampoo, which I actually just bought yesterday, the full size of.
So why would you buy that if you already know you like the Kristoff Robin one?
Because I feel like the Kristoff Robin one, and this could be wrong because I haven't used the Briogeo one in a while, but the Kristoff Robin one is more of like a treatment. Like you wouldn't use it. You use it in place of shampoo when you use it, but you wouldn't like use it every time you wash your hair. Whereas like the Briogeo one is marketed as a shampoo. I'm not going to use it every time I wash my hair because it's expensive, but you could because it is a shampoo. It's not like a treatment product. So
in your $1,000 scenario, you're going to have 3 scalp scrubs.
Yep.
Okay.
My hair will be squeaky clean.
Good to know.
What's next for you?
So the next thing on my list is the Nudestix Nudies Matte Blush and Bronze in the color Sunset Strip.
Is it a set or is it a stick that has blush and bronzer?
It's a stick that just has blush.
Oh.
I think they call it the blush and bronze because they also make bronzers in the same exact stick form. So I think they just like have it all listed under one product, and then you just like choose your color. So one end is like a little stippling brush, and then one end is the blush. And I don't know why. I actually like later in my list, I have the Nudestix exact same thing, but the bronzer.
Mm-hmm.
I almost bought that last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, and then I ended up opting for the Milk bronzer instead, and I didn't like it. And I might not like this either in the blush or the bronzer form, but I'm just, for whatever reason, I just have like this dream self that like applies like the teeniest bit of cream blush and cream bronzer on the train on the way to work. And it's like, I don't need anything else. Like, I don't know. I have like this ideal self that like only uses Nudestix and like, I don't know. It's stupid. But
I feel like that's the type of ideal that they market themselves towards though.
Oh
they
yeah,
have
totally.
all those like multi-stick kind of products that are like, you just need this one thing to be beautiful. And
yeah,
you can use it in all these ways. And
yeah, I have
effortless.
3 Nudestix products on here because I don't know what happened, but like I got into a thing with them like a year ago, and now I like still I've like kept them in like my favorites cart. So if I have $1,000, like sure, I'm just gonna fill my life with Nudestix.
My next product is my last hair product, which is
Oh my god.
it's another scalp scrub. No.
You do love, is it really?
No.
Okay. You do love hair products though.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like this is something we can also talk about, I guess, in our like wrap up section, but I feel like I very much catered my items to like me right now being like housebound a lot of the time. Like I'm trying to focus on like, you know, bettering my skin and my hair and stuff like that. And like I'm not as excited about makeup and stuff right now. And you can see that in my list. But yeah, so I have a few hair products. This one is the IGK Mistress Hydrating Leave-In Conditioner Hair Balm.
Whoa.
And I own this right now. Actually, everything I've said so far I already owned. Or like have owned at one point. I just love it. It's a really great like leave-in conditioner. I don't have like frizzy hair, but I do get like oily scalp and dry ends. So it kind of helps to like mesh everything together. And it comes with a ton of product. It's $29, but it's like a huge tube. And I've had the one that I'm using since my last birthday, so like over a year. And I use a tiny bit every time I wash my hair, and I really like it. So I would just have a backup.
Mine as well.
Yeah.
With the $1,000. My next one is the Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For No Filter Mattifying Primer and Complexion Perfector. So the reason I want this is $32. By the way, the Nudestix things are also $32. Is because Jessica Braun talked about it on YouTube, and she said, I'll never forget this. She said that her dad went up to her and was like, Jessica, your skin looks so smooth.
I remember
and
her
that
saying
and that she attributed it to this product, and ever since then I was like, I need that. Because, and she has some of the same things that I have, like in terms of like fine lines under her eyes that, like, I feel like whenever I say that, like, older people roll their eyes at me, but I'm like, you guys, have you ever seen my concealer crease? Like, it's nutty. And so Jessica was just saying, like, yeah, I've used like pore filling products and, like, you know, things that are supposed to fill in fine lines before, but like this one like really does it. And I like that, like, Peter Thomas Roth is also like skincare, so I thought that like sounded nice, like something that actually kind of is like skincare makeup hybrid. So yeah, I would totally try that. And it comes in a tube, which is nice because a lot of like pore filling stuff I feel like comes in either like pumps or jars where you're like scooping it. Like I have like the e.l.f. putty primer, and you have to like scoop it out with your fingers. So I like that it's like a squeezy tube, so you can really get like every last drop, but you're not like sticking your fingers in it. All around good stuff.
Jumping out of the hair care realm, my next product is, I have 2 of the Laneige lip sleeping masks in the berry pink color thing.
You wouldn't try the vanilla with your $1,000?
That's a good point. Perhaps I would try the vanilla. But this product in general is just like, it's not anything new anymore. Like, so many people have talked about it, but if you haven't tried this, I suggest you do, because it's like the best lip treatment thing I've ever tried. And now it's not so important because like I don't have issues with my lips in the summer, but I'm someone who gets really irritated chapped lips in the winter, and I'm bad about like continuing to lick them when I'm out, and then like they just get even more dehydrated. And ever since I used this product, I don't have that problem at all anymore. So I threw 2 of those on there, and they're $22 each, which honestly is not.
Wait, they're $22 each? They went up. It used to be $20.
Oh.
It was a flat $20.
They probably knew that people were buying it and they could afford to.
That's not right.
Get more out of us.
Yeah, I've also used that product. I recently got rid of it because Marissa, like, you like reality checked me.
You had yours for a while.
You reality checked me. You were like, girl, how long have you had that on your nightstand? I was like, I bought it fall of 2018. So yeah, it was time. And I was going through like a thing with my lips, chylitis. We don't need to talk about it. And so I kind of had to. I did a little dive into what I was using on my lips, and I scaled it back, and now I'm only using Vaseline and like a steroid treatment thing that helps with I'm just having issues with my lips from wearing my mask. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a great product, but it doesn't necessarily help me that much because I'm a lip biter. Like, I'm a chewer, not a licker. So it doesn't really matter to me how I'll like just, yeah, it's so, but I would put it on every single night, and I did really like it. I like the smell. I like the texture. So, you know, I don't love that it comes in a jar, sticking your fingies in there.
They give you a little scooper,
but then they don't give you a place to put the scooper.
Yeah, you always lose the scooper.
Yeah, I eventually just got rid of it because I was like, well, now the scooper is like, I'm putting it back in its little teeny case, and yeah. Laneige, I mean, they now make like the lip glossy, like they make them in like tube form, but it's not necessarily like a lip mask. It's just like,
well, the good thing about those is like I've heard that it's like okay to use the sleeping mask during the day, but you kind of shouldn't. And I don't remember why. I don't know if it's because it has like any exfoliating ingredients.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and so then if you like wear it in the sunlight, it's kind of like a little too much.
Yeah.
So I think that's the good thing about the glowy balms. And actually, I should have thrown one on this.
Yeah, me too.
To
try. I feel like that's something I've thought about.
Yeah, I feel like that's the purpose of that, is to have something like this, but during the day. So yeah, I should have, if I had the chance to have $15 more or whatever it is, I would put that on the list.
If you dropped one of your
My
scalp scrubs, you could get like 4 of them.
Don't come for my scalp scrubs.
So my next thing, wait, are we on me? Yeah,
Yep.
because you just did Laneige. So my next thing is the Supergoop Shimmer Shade Illuminating Cream Eyeshadow in SPF 30. I almost bought this a couple of years ago because Maddie went through a huge phase of them. And she still wears hers all the time. I think she has like 2 different colors, if I'm not wrong. I just didn't end up buying it because it was like sold out one of the days that I went in and was like, today I'm going to finally buy it. And then I don't know. It just never ended up happening. And so I think I would just finally just grab one, just see what it's all about. I have my fantasy self also wears cream eyeshadow and like it looks great and it never creases. In real life, it probably would crease. But I think the idea of like an SPF eyeshadow is fun. And I know like Maddie will put them on, like she'll wear like maybe SPF on her face and then just like throw a little bit of that on. It's just like a fun little thing.
Yeah, when you put SPF on, do you cover your eyelids?
I do because I don't wear anything else. Yeah.
I feel like I don't. I feel like I'm just used to avoiding my eye area with like skincare.
Yeah, sometimes I avoid it. If my skin feels a little sensitive, I will. Because sometimes for whatever reason, it almost feels like burny, like it's as if it like got in my eyes, but other times it doesn't. I don't know why. So yeah, I would definitely try one of those. I have it in the color on my list. I have it in Daydream because the other one I was interested in is sold out, but this is sort of like a pinky gold color. It looks cute. Yeah.
My next guy is also an eye-related product, and this is a beloved fave of mine. It's the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream.
I have that too.
It's the best eye cream I've ever tried. And my concerns are, my skincare concern, like effect-wise, is brightening dark circles.
Yeah.
But my concern with like the product is just that I can't do a really thick eye cream, and so many eye creams are marketed towards people who have like dry under eyes and they want them to be like supple and hydrated, so they're really like thick creams, and I just like cannot deal with that.
You would hate the Kiehl's avocado one.
I know. Anything that's like opaque, I don't.
I didn't even like the Kiehl's avocado. The texture is so weird that like you put it under your eye and it like sticks almost, like you like have to like keep rubbing in the same area to get it to actually blend. It's really hard to blend out. It was weird.
That's how the Glow Recipe avocado eye cream was.
Maybe it's avocado.
So maybe it is
avocado.
Yeah, I don't know. But this one is like, it blends in like a dream, and I think that it actually really does work for brightening. And I loved it so much, but it's, how much is it? Oh, I got 2 of them. I was like, it's not $78.
I think it's 30 something.
Yeah, it's like 30.
34?
5, I don't know.
Are you wearing anything under your eyes right now?
No.
It looks great.
Thank you.
No darkness at all.
Thank you. Yeah, I think
you heard it here first.
I remember being in a phase where I was trying to find out what the root of my dark circle problem was, because like you can have them they can be hereditary, or it can be stress, or it can be sleep, or whatever. So I'm still not really sure what mine.
Yeah, I've also heard food. I forget what it is. Like if it's like salt, I've heard that can maybe darken your under, or it can show up in color or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, I don't know, but this stuff is great. And I actually researched a dupe for it. So if I had $1,000, I would just buy a couple of these, the real ones. But right now I have from the brand Bliss, which is more of a Target-y drugstore brand. I think it's called like All Bright eye cream. It's also in an orange tube. I think that they were like purposefully trying to mimic this one.
Yeah.
That one's a great dupe if you have been interested in this one and want a cheaper one. But yeah, if I have those $1,000, I'm going for it.
Yeah, so I'll just like skip that when I talk about it because I also got that because I've tried the Origins ginseng one, which I also really liked. My thing is more like fine lines and dryness, but like also dark circles, just because a lot of times I don't wear makeup to work and whatever, or at least now I definitely don't. Because I don't go to work, but now that I'm not wearing makeup, and then also when I didn't wear makeup to work physically, it was just like nice to have just like some radiance under my eyes. So I got the ginseng one and I really liked it, and I feel like it's sort of on par with that, but I would like to try the Ole Henriksen one. My next thing is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. Do you know that I've wanted this for years? Like literal years?
No. I've heard people talk about it, though, that love it.
I think Zoella talked about specifically Luminous Light. The other one that has caught my eye is Dim Light. And they make mini versions of this for like $20-something, like that I've picked up. And then I also tried to think about like what usually gets me in the Q line, like what minis I would normally am like, well, it's mini, so I should try it. Yeah. And this is one. I picked this up and put it down so many times because they make this shade in the minis.
You should get the mini because that's like, I feel like powder products last forever.
I know, but the mini is like so small that I'm like,
would it be hard to like dip a brush into?
I guess that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I also am like, what do I want this for? Because like, you can use it all over your face for like a little bit of luminosity, or you can use it as like a natural highlight.
Right.
I could also see myself using it for eyeshadow. I don't.
You're really making a case for buying this.
Okay, maybe I should buy it. Maybe I should just get the mini.
Yeah, I think
the mini is so small.
It's gonna last you so long, though. Like powder, I've never run out of a powder product in my life.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe I'll buy the mini. For whatever reason, every time I see the mini, it looks so miniature that I'm like, this is dumb. I should just spend the extra $20 and get like a ton more product. And I feel like it would be more satisfying in the big version. Yeah. I don't know, you guys. It's $48. I'll have to think about it. I've wanted this for so long. It's stupid how long.
Birthday coming up in, a few months.
4 months. Yeah. At some point, I feel like I need to own this. It's getting a little ridiculous.
My next product is my only like face makeup product actually on this whole list, and it's once again a product that I already own and already know I love, and that is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer.
That is good stuff.
Yeah, it's so good. I
only know from trying it for work because I'm not usually a pot concealer person, although I'm loving that Boing one, the Benefit Boing pot concealer.
Oh yeah, that one my mom always used to use when I was younger. And I do really like that too. Yeah, something about a pot concealer just does it for me. I don't know. I think because like since my hands have natural oils, like I'm not a dry skinned person. So I think I am suited well to applying concealer with my fingers because the warmth from my finger really blends in well. And when I try to blend in concealer with a brush, it doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't work. So I've never really liked, I don't know what you call it, like a liquid, like a wand concealer.
Yeah, liquid concealer.
Yeah, I've always preferred pots. And I also never want like a radiant, shiny, glossy, hydrating concealer. I always want like a mattifying one. And this one is great. I love it.
Yeah. Well, my next thing was the Nudestix Bronzer in Bondi Bay, but I'm going to skip it because I already talked about it, and it's $32. I want it for the same reason I want the blush, just my superior self that uses pot concealer and a single eyeshadow shade and blah, blah, blah. But my next real one is the Moroccan Oil Perfect Defense Heat Protectant.
Ooh.
So here's my thing. I had this in a mini hairspray form because my mom had the big hairspray, and when she bought the big hairspray, it came with a small hairspray. And I loved the scent of it. Like whenever she would wear it, good. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, like what perfume are you wearing? She's like, it's not my perfume, it's my hairspray. And so so she was like, you should take the mini with you. I'm never going to use the mini. So I did, and I would put it in my hair, like not even for hairspray. I think it was medium hold, although for this, like if I were to buy it in regular hairspray, I'd probably get strong hold just for the hell of it. But I used to like do my hair and then just like spray it all over and then kind of like brush through it to get any little bit of crunch out because I loved the scent. And I still have the mini just because I'm like, just to smell it. Like I don't know. So I was like, well, I thought about putting that on this list, but then I saw that they have a heat protectant, and I feel like that's even more useful for me because I could get that scent, but I could do it through like protecting my hair as I'm like straightening it or curling it. And yeah, so maybe that's something I could see myself actually buying, because I also love using heat protectants that come in aerosol cans, which I don't know, aerosol cans are bad for the environment, right? Like maybe I should stop doing that. But I've tried using like sprayer ones, and they like spit it on me, and I'm like, no, I don't be spitting it on my ends. Like I want like an even coat, so I make sure I get everything. So I use like the Paul Mitchell one now that's like a heat protectant and hairspray in one, but I could totally see myself buying this when it runs out. It's $28, so it's a little pricey for like just like a heat protectant, but it would probably last me a really long time. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Next on my list is I put 2 of the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen, SPF 40. I just repurchased this yesterday along with the Briogeo Scalp Scrub Shampoo. Yeah, I love this stuff. As someone with like oily skin, especially in the summer, I know that I should be using sunscreen year round, but I'm better about it in the summer. So it's really important to me to have a sunscreen that is not going to feel really like pore clogging and heavy. Basically any sunscreen, any face sunscreen I've tried that's like that white, opaque, like traditional sunscreeny consistency is just like not good for my skin type. So this is the first sunscreen I've ever found that I actually enjoy putting on. So yeah, I threw 2 of those on the list.
Of course you did. My next is the SK2 facial treatment essence. Because here's the thing. How much is that? It's $185.
There it is.
So I might as well freaking try it, you know? Like people rave about it, and I don't actually want it. Like I don't care. Like it's not something that I like lust after, but I was sort of like, I was sitting at like the $600 mark making this list, and I was like, you know what? That's something that people talk about all the time. I've written about it at work. It's like, I might as well try it. Like, I remember I used to feel that way about the Sunday Riley Good Jeans. Yeah. But then I tried like a little sample size of it. And I also like, it came out that Sunday Riley like buys reviews. Yeah. So now I feel sort of meh about them, whereas I feel like before, like a bunch of their products would have been on this list. So that's one I would definitely try. $185, and it's just an essence, so you just like pat it into your skin. Yeah, you pat it into your skin like after your serums, or maybe it's before your serums, before moisturizer for sure. And it's supposed to help with hydration. It's supposed to help with like anti-aging stuff. I think it has like yeast in it or something.
Yeast. Yeah, I can't believe how expensive that product is.
Totally. But it's insane.
But this is like the only situation that would justify buying it, I think.
True. Might as well.
Next on my list is the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. I tried these in a mini version because I got around the holidays last year this like set that had a few different things in it. And I really enjoyed using them because I like the action of like after you wash your face or take your makeup off or whatever, having something on a pad to like really get in there and like be able to see on the pad if you have anything
get like in there, girl, come
extra on left on your face. It just helps to like really truly feel like your face is clean. And I just liked these because it's like instead of having like a toner and cotton pads that you're putting it on, it's like everything in one, and you just grab it out of the tub and swipe it on. So I really liked those.
Yeah. My basket just got reassorted.
Oh, that's so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So I'll try not to miss anything. Okay, I guess the best thing to do would be to just like start from the top again and then skip over things that I already did. Because now at the top is the Sephora Collection Melting Lip Clicks lip balm. This is one of those things that like they came out with it and I was like, I just want it. Like, it's $14. I don't need it. I have tons of like little lip products. I'm a lip product fiend. Like, I love like lip balms and I love like tinted lip balms and lip stains and like very like, oh, this is just like my perfect palette like moments. So this one I like wanted in like it's called Peach Sorbet. And like the whole thing is like you click it and it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even get it.
Is the applicator like a white, like it's not a brush, it's like a spongy white thingy?
No, not even.
Oh.
It's literally just like, it looks like a lipstick.
Oh.
I don't get what's going on here, to be quite honest. I have to see it in person.
I feel like those kind of products are a little bit like nostalgic-y. Like I remember using things when I was younger that you would click into like a white pad kind of thing and you would see like the color of the product soak into the pad and you would know that you like clicked enough. So that's what I'm picturing. But
it might sort of be like that and they just like in the advertisement don't show it as that. It might even be that it looks like a lipstick but then it clicks out of like a hole, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things about them too, that they're just like a sheer wash of color. So I'm interested. I think I could see myself getting that. I just sort of feel like I've got so many like little things like that.
Yeah.
But I would do it if I had the $1,000.
Next up, I have another First Aid Beauty product, which is another tried and true for me. I put 2 of them on the list.
You really ate through your money just by doing 2 products of everything.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, I feel like I still have more products than you. Because you said you had 23. I have like 30.
Oh.
And I put multiples of
It's the SK2 essence, I'm telling you.
That's true. So this one is the Hellofab Coconut Water Cream.
That stuff is good.
Yeah, it rocks. It smells so good, too.
Yeah.
Not that matters for a face product. But
I love the texture.
It's so enjoyable to put on. Like, smell, texture, feel, everything.
It stays kind of cold.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
And like, I bought it yesterday.
I have, like, when I used it, I was dealing with dry skin. I now have more, like, normal skin. And I loved it just as much as you, who has oily skin. Yeah. It's just so good.
It's great. Yeah, it's kind of, like, deceivingly hydrating. Because it's, like, it's not, like, a thick, goopy cream at all. Like, it's, like, a translucent gel kind of consistency. But it really makes your skin feel like it just, like, drank 8 glasses of water at once. Yeah, I love it.
My next is the Nudestix Nudies Tinted Blur Stick, which I wanted to get you for a birthday, and then I ended up not getting you. I ended up deciding to get you something else, but I just thought it sounded up your alley. So it's like this super, it's like a blurring stick from Nudestix. It's $30, but it's got like a little bit of pigment to it, so that you use it like you would like a stick foundation, but it really is like more about like blurring the skin and sort of like giving like a smooth appearance to the skin while depositing like a little bit of pigment to even out the tone. And I'm just very interested in it.
So I bought it.
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot.
So I've used it, and I would describe it as the milk blur stick with pigment.
Yeah. That makes sense because it's called the blur stick.
Yeah, and I would say that the consistency kind of feels like pressed powder actually when you put it on. Like it's kind of like a weird, like I don't know what the science is behind it. Like it's like so it looks like it would be like a creamy stick kind of product, but when you put it on, it's not creamy, it's like powdery.
Yeah, it's
kind
sort
of
dry.
just like defies the laws of gravity, but
interesting.
It's cool. My next one is another moisturizer. And I'll actually put my next 2 together because it's the Belief pore cleaner, moisturizer, and then also the Belief pore cleaner foam cleanser. So they're like sister products. I am currently using the moisturizer, and similar to the First Aid Beauty one, it's just like a really nice hydrating but not heavy at all, really easy to blend in, kind of gel consistency moisturizer. And because I like that one, I figured that I would probably like the cleanser that goes along with it, so I would try that.
Nice. My next thing is the Caristas Resistance Mask for Severely Damaged Hair.
My mom has that.
Really? Does she like it?
Yeah.
So it's $62.
She's tried so many hair products.
Yeah, it's $62. This is the brand that my salon uses, Caristas, which is part of L'Oreal. And so that's sort of why I decided to go with that, just because I always love the smell and the feel and how my hair feels after I go to the salon, which is not to say that it would feel the exact same, but I liked the idea of using like a product that my salon already uses because, I don't know, my hairdresser would be more familiar with it.
Bring the salon to you.
Yeah, and could recommend more products like it maybe in the line. So I definitely would want to try that. And I chose the one for severely damaged hair just because I do have bleached hair that I also do heat style. So like my hair would be considered severely damaged for that reason, even though it actually feels pretty healthy. And yeah, there are a ton of other like hydrating masks. Like there's the Briogeo one. I've used the It's a 10 ones, which aren't sold in Sephora, but even though this one doesn't have like a ton of reviews, I think I like the idea of that because I've used the Briogeo one and I don't think it's anything super special. Like it's good, but it's almost like I would want to try something else. I didn't love the texture of the Briogeo one.
I feel like if I liked the Briogeo one, then you probably wouldn't, because it wouldn't be enough for your hair. Like my hair doesn't need a ton of heavy. Like, it's bad for my hair to have a ton of, like, heavy, deep conditioning. But, like, your hair type needs it way more.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I just found it, like, not... Like, the consistency is, like, almost a little, like, dry, if that makes sense. Like, as opposed to... Like, I like a really, like, slippery, like, mask that, like, makes my hair, like, super... Like, I could brush through it, like, super easily after. So,
yeah. My next one is the Boscia Luminizing Black Charcoal Mask.
Obviously.
I really like this mask a lot. Jess has used a drugstore dupe for this, which I've actually never tried, but I'm sure is just as good.
I didn't know you never tried it.
Well, because I feel like this is a product that I always have on hand. Like, if I run out of the Boscia one, I'm probably just going to buy another Boscia one.
I always have the because they sell it at TJ Maxx, too. So I've restocked at TJ Maxx. I also wrote a whole article about how this one is a dupe for the Boscia.
I know. I'm just the bougie Boscia gal.
That ain't right.
It's so good. But honestly, I don't really know if I love it so much because of, like, the ingredients it has in it, or if it's literally just the action of pulling. Because since I have oily skin, I always feel like it's like clogged, and it's really satisfying to pull something away from it and really feel like I'm like stripping it clean. And people with dry skin are probably like, oh God. But if you have oily skin and you feel like you have like clogged pores and buildup and stuff, I think you should give at least the drugstore dupe a try. If not,
the drugstore dupe is like the Bio Miracle. Now I'm confused with the Boscia. It's called Bio Miracle. Like that's like the brand. It's a Korean skincare.
Yeah, they're both in like a similar black glossy.
Just DM me if you're interested.
Yeah.
My next thing is the Summer Fridays jet lag mask. Just because this came out and I like wanted it because everyone was talking about it, and then it's $48, so I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. And then they came out with a mini, and I was like thinking about buying the mini, but then I was like, I don't really want to spend $25 on this like tiny ass thing. But I was always sort of interested in it. The idea is that like it's a really thick moisturizing mask, but you could also for your face, but you could also just use it as a moisturizer. So it's like enough that you could like blend it into your skin. Or you can use it as like a thick layer like overnight. I just thought it was like fun, and I feel like I would love it during the winter especially.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my next three together because they're three different mascaras. So I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, the It Cosmetic Superhero Mascara and the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. So they're all slightly different. I've used them all before and I've liked them all, either in full size or in like mini travel size. But the Too Faced and the It have the like synthetic hair kind of wands, and the Benefit one has like a silicone wand. So I just like kind of like toggling between the two. Yeah, I think all three of these are great. The Benefit one, even though it's called a volumizing mascara, is really good at lengthening, while the other two I've found are really good at volumizing.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, but I like all three a lot, so I would pick those up.
My next is the Jouer Cosmetics powder highlighter in the color Citrine.
Forgot about that brand.
Kathleen Lights had talked about this years ago, and I always it always stuck with me, and I always thought about buying it. It's $24, which isn't crazy. They've got really nice packaging, and it looks like a really nice solid, they give you a lot of product, or at least it looks that way. And the packaging is pretty, and I've heard great things about the formula of this highlighter. And yeah, I would definitely want to try it, because it's like a golden champagne-y, so I feel like it would work well with my skin tone too.
My next one is the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Polypeptide Moisturizer.
Wait, I have that on here too.
$68.
I have that on here too.
She's expensive.
I figured I'd use mine as well.
Me too. I got it in a birthday gift, I think, last year for not like someone gave it to me, but like
I still have it.
Yeah, I still have the tub, but I use it to like put my moisturizer into travel as like a little container.
I haven't even opened mine. I still have like the little, because I always forget about it. Because I have it sitting in there maybe for like if I travel. But,
yeah.
Well, obviously I'm not now, but.
Yeah. I thought it was really good, and it was just one of those things where I was like, if I have all this money, I might as well throw a Drunk Elephant product on.
I had the exact same thought.
But I feel like from what I remember, it's a really good all-around moisturizer for anybody. It didn't feel extreme in any way. Like, it didn't feel like super watery or thin like some of the other ones I like are, but it also didn't feel too thick or goopy. So it struck me as something that would like kind of work for a lot of different skin types, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same sort of thoughts. I also feel like it's supposed to be good for things like fine lines and texture, so I wanted to try that. I'm going to combine my next two because I have the Supergoop Glow Screen sunscreen with SPF 40 that's $36. So that's sort of like the unseen sunscreen, but it's supposed to be luminizing. And I thought that would be especially nice in the winter. And then I also want to try the Supergoop Invisible Setting Powder in SPF 45, which is $30. So it's just because I've written about how you should reapply your SPF throughout the day, but a lot of times we don't do that because we put on makeup. So I just feel like powder is one of the easiest ways to reapply. So I'm just curious to try it. And I've seen them sell at TJ Maxx, and I've been so.
That's the one that's all contained, right? It comes with a brush.
Yeah,
the
brush.
Same.
Yeah,
that's exactly cool too, because it's really annoying to bring a powder and then just have a loose brush rolling around in your bag.
Yeah, it's one of those products that I just feel would make me feel special. I don't have good answers.
That's a good justification.
Yeah, you can tell I'm into Supergoop and I'm into sunscreen.
It's great.
Love that kind of stuff.
I'm combining my next two too, and you probably have maybe one of these on your list, but it's the Sol de Janeiro.
I took it off the list, baby.
It's the Brazilian Crush body fragrance mist and the body lotion. So this is the orange scent. And it just seems up my alley. I've actually never used the orange one. I had a little mini of the blue one, which is Coco Cabana or something.
You had a true mini.
Yeah,
I had the mini size.
Yeah, it wasn't the mini you can buy.
You had a sample size.
Yeah. But it was good. I really liked the texture of the body lotion, but I do think that I would like the orange smell better. So yeah, I figured I'd throw those on.
Yeah, we need to do a swap because I want to try having the blue scent. My next is from Mcgrath Labs, and it's the Sublime Perfection Foundation for $68. First of all,
she's bougie, that Pat.
Oh my gosh. First of all, the packaging is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And what surprised me, this is actually a sheer to medium foundation. It's supposed to be really buildable, so you could build it up to be fuller coverage. But I actually am really into things that sort of start off more sheer medium. And I'm not a huge foundation person. I actually, in more recent years, just like use concealer. So actually, I'll combine this. The other thing is, throughout testing concealers for work, I realized that I love the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And I tried the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and loved it. But for some reason, I was surprised when I loved the concealer. So I feel like if I were to get like a couple of like complexion products, like foundation, concealer, those two would be it. Because I would be really curious to try a Pat McGrath product. And that foundation sounds beautiful. It has a great shade range, obviously. Pat McGrath is a Black woman, so love that. And love that she is out here making shades for everyone. And yeah, I would love to try something of hers because I never have. It's an expensive brand. So that would be the time to do it. And I've heard great things about this foundation.
She's the one who all the lipsticks have lips on them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really pretty packaging.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I lied because I do have another hair product on here.
Oh, God.
But I should have just lumped it in with the other thing because this is just a Briogeo Scalp Revival Dry Scalp Treatment Travel Kit.
Whoa.
So this is when I entered the like gift set section of Sephora.
Oh.
Which is very exciting for me. I feel like that is like a strategy. Like if maybe 1,000 is like, yeah, you can go crazy with full size. But if someone was to give you like $100 or something,
you want to try like, things out.
Yeah, these kits are a great way to do that because they're not actually that expensive. Like this one's $25 and you get, I'm not going to zoom in or click on it so I don't lose my place, but it has like a travel version of the scrub shampoo that I already had on this list. And it has, I think, like a treatment, like leave-in kind of product. And it also has a treatment for the shower that's like a not a serum, but like the equivalent of a serum for your hair. Like it's like packed with like good for you ingredients.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of not only like the year-round, like they call them like Sephora favorites collections, where it's like the favorites from Drunk Elephant, favorites from this brand, favorites from that brand, but also just like around the holidays, that's like a great time to try different things. Like that's when I tried the Briogeo for $18. They give you a little sample of the like a decently sized, like great for like reusing the packaging for traveling. Like it's like the perfect size. They give you the conditioner mask and then they give you the micro exfoliant thing, and I learned from that I didn't love either product, and so it saved me like spending like $60 something to try the full size of either one of those.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good point about these sets is like it sometimes isn't enough to know if you love something and if it's really working and having like positive effects, but it is often enough to know if you don't like something.
Yeah, like you might not be able to get enough product that you could use it for say like a full month and then know that you love it and it works. A lot of skincare stuff, like I feel like you need longer than that. But yeah, for me, I feel like I've gotten a lot of sample things and realized I don't love it, or not even that I don't love it, but just that I don't end up using it enough in my daily life. Like I bought a Fenty set that was like a mini of the one of the kilowatt highlighters in Hustla Baby. And I use that all the time. But the reason I got the set was because I really wanted to try the Fenty Gloss Bomb. And I just sort of like realized it's not that I didn't like it, but that I didn't reach for it a lot. But I reached for the highlighter all the time. So, because I love it like on my eyes and I love it as like an actual highlighter. So I found that like I really ended up getting a lot of use out of that for like this $20 duo. But that I realized that I guess I don't use lip gloss that much. I would rather like a lip balm. So it's definitely helpful to not then have spent, you know, the $20 on just this one lip gloss that I don't end up using that much.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of Fenty though, Fenty is like I
Really?
said, I have the gloss bomb and I have the kilowatt highlighter mini, and I thought that Fenty was going to be one of those brands that I wanted to buy a bunch of stuff, but I realized that they don't have a ton that I'm interested in right now. Like I'm not interested in like their Pro Filter foundation. I've heard that it's like really high coverage and like very matte, so it doesn't sound great for my skin. But I am interested in trying their bronzer.
I have one of their bronzers.
Yeah, your shade would not like yours looks very orangey. Like
I think it might be called like Into Sand or something like that.
well, this one's called Into Sun,
Oh, maybe it's that one.
but this one
Hold on,
doesn't.
let me check.
And this is so like it's very like a cool. It's literally for fair neutral skin. She's going and finding her bronzer. I will be damned if it's this. It's not, right?
Let the record show that I was very wrong. Mine is called Private Island.
I was gonna say like I've seen yours and yours looks way like not darker necessarily, but orangier. Oh wait, this isn't as orangey as I remember, but still a little bit.
Yeah, I think they are divided into like fair to light and then like medium and like darker. And that one might be like medium or something.
This packaging is gorgeous.
I know. It's really good. I would recommend it.
It's only $30 and it looks like you get a lot of product in there. And I just like this color looks great for sort of like contouring and bronzing and just like warming up the face a little bit. And I just, yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, it's
Might as
called
well.
Instant Warmth Bronzer, which is an apt description, I think.
Yeah. What's your next one?
My next one is another set. It's the Ilia Hello Clean makeup set. This is a brand that I'm interested in trying, so I figured this little set would be a good way to do that. Again, I don't remember what it has in it, but it's like, I think it has like a lip gloss, a mascara, a highlighter, and maybe like a cheek stick blush kind of situation.
So like it's my fantasy self.
Yes.
In a kit.
Yes. And this is one of those like clean at Sephora brands, so that sounds nice. And yeah, I just feel like all of these products besides the mascara are things that if I had the full size, I would never use it. Like I'd never use it up. Like I hardly use lip products. I hardly use highlighter. But it would just be fun to have little versions to just like give a little try.
Yeah.
Have a little fun. Get down tonight.
Yeah. True. My next is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. This is so random for me. There's so much about this that sounds like I would hate it. Like, first of all, matte velvet. Like, I used to use that foundation, the liquid foundation, and, like, I would never use that now. And then, like, the fact that it's powder and foundation.
Yeah, is it shaped like a pressed powder?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the reason I want it is because Jessica Braun loves it, and we have like very similar skin types, and she has said like it's perfect for like setting her under eyes, and she just like loves the way it looks. And I also feel like I could like, I've never tried a powder foundation, so I'd also be curious to try it over something like a sunscreen that's more like luminous, and then just like using it as like my foundation.
Yeah.
So it's $38, and I feel like if I could, I would just might as well, you know?
Yeah. Another set. I have the Saturday Skin No Bad Days set.
Their packaging, like, yeah, wow.
Yep, that's pretty much exactly why this is in here. I've just always seen this brand in my peripheral vision and said, that looks pretty.
Same. Herbivore does the same thing to me, too.
Yeah, there are just certain brands. It's almost like, this happens to me with book covers too. Like there are certain books that like they're always on display and the cover's really pretty and you're like, I don't even care what the book is about. I just like want to own that book because it's pretty.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this brand. I honestly don't know anything about the products or if they're any good, but they're cute and pretty. So
Yeah. No, I actually, there was a lot of stuff that like I like the brand. I'm interested in the brand. But when it came down to it, I just ended up not adding it because I was like, oh, I actually don't think I care about that much. My next one is the Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle Plush Matte Lipstick. The freaking packaging, my dude. It just looks beautiful. And I decided that my favorite color was pumpkin rose. I love like everything peach toned. And it's actually on sale right now for $12.50. But it's normally $18.
That's cheap.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the packaging and just like trying a Fenty lip product would be nice. Like I just put this in there for fun.
Yeah. Next up is my last set. I should have thrown this in with the other Sol de Janeiro stuff, but it's just a little Sol de Janeiro set. It has a mini body mist, but then it also has a lip balm. It's called the Kiss Your Crush set.
Whoa.
Which from my thorn, we can gather I'm not doing a ton of these days. But it just, it looks cute, and I figured if I were to like the body mist, it would be nice to have a little one to travel with or put in my bag, and then the lip balm sounded nice and probably smells good too, so yeah.
Yeah, I bet it does smell really good. But it tastes good. My last product is the Beauty Blender. The original Beauty Blender. I have never tried the Beauty Blender.
Me neither.
And I don't care to in real life because it's sort of like, I love the Real Technique sponges. Not every sponge is made equal, but I do really love the Real Technique sponges.
It's good.
That are like $6. And you can get them in sets of like 4 for like $12 too. But I figured if I have $1,000, I might as well finally try the freaking Beauty Blender.
Smart.
That's it. That's my whole list.
I have 2 more things. I put 3 of the Peace Out Acne Healing Dots. I currently use, I think the brand is like Peach and Lily. It's a K-Beauty skincare
I have the
brand.
Peace Out ones. You want them?
What do you mean, do I want them?
Do you want them? I have them.
Do you have extras?
Yeah.
Well, I have the ones that I'm using now. Like, I'm not out, but I should try them just to compare. But I just, in general, love the form of an acne dot because I'm a huge picker. Gross, maybe, to hear.
A picker and a licker.
Ew. And I got a clogged scalp.
Ew. And pores.
Everybody date me. But yeah, it really helps me to like cover it up with a dot and leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't think about it.
Don't even think about thinking about touching it.
Yeah, they're really good. And then my last item is kind of a random one. And it's the only like tool on the list, but it's just an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush number 20, which is a brow brush. And one end of it I think is to like apply, I guess, like a cream brow product, which I wouldn't use, but the other end looks like a really nice spoolie. And I've realized that that's something that I really value to do to my face every day. Like I have a spoolie already, and I have to brush up my brows, get them in formation.
Yeah, otherwise mine start to like go like round instead of being like square. Like I always brush mine up so that they look a little more feathery and square.
Yeah, it's funny the things that you deem essential as the years go by. Like there was a point in my life where I couldn't leave the house without putting like a face product on, like a BB cream or a foundation or whatever, like something tinted like that. And now I'm sort of finding that this act is the thing that I have to do. Like if I go out with my brows not brushed, I don't feel right.
Yeah, I usually, even if I'm not wearing anything else, I'll put brow gel on because I want to brush them up, but then like have them stay that way. Yeah, I feel the same way. So what did this list teach you about your current beauty habits and whatnot?
Well, it taught me that, in terms of current habits, it taught me that I'm not really interested in much makeup-y stuff. Like it's more about like the underlying skincare, hair care, lips, like that kind of stuff, and like body. But also what I realized is that even if I had a huge amount of money to just blow, I still would kind of play it safe with things that I already know I love.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you'd kind of think like, oh, you have so much money, like you should just buy all these things that like you're taking a chance on because like who cares? But for me, I'd be like, no, I want 12 of the thing I already know I love. I don't want to try anything new.
Yeah. Well, it's like we've spent a lot of time trying new things, so I feel like we're at a place where like we have our favorites and we know that we want to keep using them.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I've sort of realized that even though here's what I realized from making the list. I'm very overwhelmed by skincare, and I tend to feel like I used to constantly be like, I need to fix the tone of my skin from acne scars, and I need to fix the texture because of acne scars, and I want to get rid of this, and I want to change that, and I don't feel that way anymore. I feel really like fine with my skin. I feel like really, yeah, like I don't fret too much about like going out of the house without makeup. Actually, I don't fret at all, and that's like a change for me. And so I think that like I used to like covet all of this like really expensive skincare, thinking that if I just had that, like I would have beautiful skin. And I don't feel that way anymore. And so it's made doing things like makeup more fun for me because it's made me more experimental. It's made me like want to like, oh, well, what if I just like dabbed a little bit of concealer under my eyes, put on like a little bit of blush and bronzer and brushed my eyebrows, and that's it. Like, how would I feel?
We love brushing our eyebrows.
Yeah. Whereas like it used to be like, oh, I have to put on like a full coverage foundation, and like, you know, it's weird if I don't wear like top and bottom mascara, or like I used to wear I never wear eyeliner anymore, but I used to always wear eyeliner. So it's just, I've realized that makeup has become more fun for me now that I don't fret too much about my skin. And right now, I think I miss putting on makeup, and I miss sort of having it as a routine. So I went toward a lot of makeup things.
That makes sense.
Especially I think because I know that I don't wear a ton of makeup and don't necessarily need it, that it made me more almost want to splurge for it more, because it seemed like more fun to like, ooh, like I get to try out things that I don't really need, so that's why I'm not spending the money on it. But yeah, I feel like that's what I sort of learned from making the list, is that I get more overwhelmed by skincare than I do makeup, because skincare is like, it's hard to tell if it's working, and I get sort of frustrated by that, and so it's more fun for me to play with makeup than skincare.
Yeah, it gives you that like immediate gratification.
Yeah, I love trying new makeup. So I feel like that was what this list ended up becoming for me, was like, if I could try all different new things, like what would I want to try? And yeah, I feel like that's sort of how my feelings on beauty have evolved over the years. Is I go through phases where I'm way more into skincare than I'm into makeup, and then, you know, back and forth. Or I go through things where I feel like I'm really into body products right now. I've been trying out different body washes and body lotions for work, and I have a razor that I'm really excited about from Billy. And, you know, I feel like I love like all my little perfumes. Like I'm just like into like my little body care things right now too. So I feel like that and like natural makeup are like the two things that I'm most excited about right now, and less like skincare and hair care.
I also realized when doing this that like, as exciting as it sounds, and of course I wouldn't turn down the $1,000 if it was being given to me, I actually started to get overwhelmed. Like I was thinking after I made this list, like, what if I just bought it? Like, what if I just spent all that money and just bought all these things? I actually don't think it would be that enjoyable to do in real life, because I would feel really overwhelmed by the amount of products.
I agree.
Because that's something I realized about my like beauty habits is I really enjoy the act of like finishing something.
Yeah.
Like I like to finish a tub of something, clean it out, decide whether or not I want to reuse the container, if not, recycle it, like that whole thing, and then be like, okay, what's next?
Marissa's the queen of saving containers to reuse, and it's come in handy so many times. Like when I had my trip in January to Vegas, I was like, do you have something really small that I can put my eye cream into? Because, you know, I'm going to the desert, it's going to be really dry, so I'd love to, like, eye cream is normally something I might just leave out when I'm packing, but I was like, oh, I kind of want to bring it. And, you know, I was trying to squeeze all of like my liquids and creams and whatnot into like my what's it called, like TSA approved bag. And she like had like the perfect container for that, perfect container for my moisturizer, which normally I'd be like, oh, like when, like we don't travel enough that it matters to keep those types of things. But then I sort of like, after that came in handy, you got me sort of wanting to maybe like keep a couple of teeny containers.
I kind of feel like it's the equivalent of like moms who save takeout containers and like take them on as Tupperware. Like there are the moms who buy brand new Tupperware, and there are the moms who save the takeout containers as their Tupperware, and that's me. Like I don't buy like travel size containers or anything, unless I think I did for my hair once because I needed to, but I'm like, why would I do that when I have this cleaned out perfectly good travel size moisturizer tub?
That's true.
But yeah, I feel like if I actually got that huge Sephora box delivered, I'd be like, I'm never going to finish this.
Yeah. I also don't feel super satisfied by like having backups on backups on backups.
Yeah.
It's just like, because by the time you finish something, you're like excited about the idea of buying something new. And you also have that whole experience of like, ooh, I really liked this about this product. I wonder if I can try getting the same thing, but in a different, you know, scent, or I want to try it with like maybe something that's a little more oil controlling or like whatever it is.
Yeah, it is a little restraining to then be like, since I have this backup, I'm not allowed. I mean, I guess you're allowed to do whatever you want, but like having a backup of something makes you feel like you need to use that and can't use anything different. So
yeah, like I don't love the idea of like buying multiple, like, or like rebuying things. I feel like it's rare that I rebuy a makeup product because I'm usually, when I finish it, even if I really liked it, I'm like, oh, I loved that, now I want to try something else.
that's something that I feel like has changed with me. Like I don't think I'm like that anymore. As you can tell by this list being like all things I've already tried, I feel like I'm kind of in a phase where I'm like, I don't want to experiment right now. I just want to like get more of the things that I already know I love.
Yeah. I guess like what I'm thinking of is like foundation, for example. Like I might really like a foundation. I feel like I used to, for years, I was buying like the Revlon Color Stay. And now I'm sort of like, they're coming out with foundation so often, or even like concealer, that like I won't repurchase the concealer. I'll instead like try something else. I don't know. It's a thing. Because I usually like would use concealer for like 6 months before I'd like be out of it. So then I'm like, ooh, it's been so long that I've had this. I want to try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. My habits have definitely changed over the years. Like what I look for, what I get excited about.
Yeah.
Show.
And I feel like we'd probably be interested in doing maybe another episode where we talk about those kinds of things a little bit more, because this was like dominated by our list of products. But yeah, we're definitely both people who have thought a lot about like what these things mean to us and the roles that they play in our lives and our self-image and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just super interesting to think about.
I want to go shopping.
You could just click purchase on all your
no way.
things in your cart.
I might make a teeny weeny little purchase. Teeny weeny.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a good thing to end on. Like if I feel like we should each pick one thing from our cart that like we don't actually have to buy it, but like if we were forced to buy one thing, what would you buy from your list?
That's a good question.
Because then that kind of forces you to pick between would you do something new or would you do something safe that you already like?
Now I'm really hung up on that Hourglass ambient lighting powder. I mean, I've been hung up on it for years, but I feel like after, like, we really kind of sat with that for a few minutes and made me want to try it. So I think that would be my one thing that I would buy today.
My one thing would be the, this is tough. My one thing would be, I think the Saturday Skin No Bad Day set.
Yeah.
Because it's just so dang pretty to look at.
It is pretty to look at.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Display it in the bathroom.
I also did buy a couple of things at Sephora yesterday. I think I mentioned I bought the Briogeo shampoo and the Supergoop sunscreen. So maybe if I didn't do that in real life, I would have picked one of those. But because I already got the safe things, I would, I think, go for something new.
Cool. Maybe we should do it.
Oh my God.
Well, stay tuned to find out if we end up buying stuff. Thanks everyone for listening. And happy Wednesday if you're listening to this on the day we put it out.
Hump day.
Yay. Outro music. Go.
Bye.